Aloha mai kako. Greetings from the shores of the Salish Sea. Kipuka Aloha Aina and the regenerative spaces beyond the dread of climate change examines the geopolitical formations that emerge from the ruination of colonial capitalism. These formations carry the potential to disrupt destructive patterns of power upon which colonial capitalism is built. The paper also explores precognitive sensations like ephemeral joy experienced within these kipuka, and asking the question, does these precognitive sensations engender strong enough, fierce and loving political commitments so that we can grow these kipuka aloha aina, so that we can challenge the power of colonial capitalism? So we begin with the ground we stand on and the air we breathe. In Hawaiian epistemology, kipuka spatially circumscribe differences and temporally mark transitions in the atmosphere, the land, or water as we travel across these scapes. The Pukui Albert Dictionary defines kipuka as variation or change of form, such as a calm place in a high sea, a deep place in a shoal, openings in cloud formations, and especially a clear place or oasis within a lava bed. Kipuka in lava fields are particularly potent formations because latent in these places surrounded by lava are seeds that carry the potential for new growth. They provide the raw material for regeneration into Aina Momona, the fat, fertile lands. Kipuka are also potent metaphorical figures in Hawaii's political landscape. Daviana McGregor draws on this regenerative landscape, writing that rural communities in Hawaii that have been bypassed by the forces of economic, political, and social change are places of spatial and temporal difference that she names cultural kipuka. In these places, Kanaka live as their ancestors lived. The collective desires, beliefs, and ethics of the Kanaka Maoli social imaginary endures, hidden from colonial capitalism. Like the dynamic life force in a natural kipuka, cultural kipuka are communities from which Native Hawaiian culture can be regenerated and revitalized in contemporary Hawaii. No'eau Peralta expands on cultural kipuka in Kokolo Mai Komole Uaua O'i, the resilience and resurgence of Aloha Aina in Hama Kua Hikina, Hawaii. He documents ongoing work by the organization Hui Mau to reclaim a space that the excesses of industrial agriculture had turned into a wasteland. Hui Mau's land-based actions, Peralta writes, generate a praxis of Aloha Aina that broadens the possibilities for family, community, and nation-based resurgences beyond state-centric and recognition-based nation-building paradigms. Cultural kipuka, then, are the repositories of ancestral knowledge that seed the kipuka aloha aina that rise out of the ruination of capital. And a brief note here on colonial capitalism. It's a particular approach to production that is built on the principle of scarcity and accumulation, a system that protects the machinery of capitalism, a machine that does not understand reciprocal relationality, a system that is the primary force moving humanity towards extinction. Kipuka aloha aina are spaces that are not like this surrounding space of colonial capitalism. Let's now turn to Aloha Aina, a concept that begins with Aina, which is commonly translated as real estate in the colonial capital world. The word Aina, though, is derived from ai, to eat, and is glossed as that which feeds. This dynamic relationship of Kanaka to Aina is expressed in the Oloa No'eau, or Hawaiian poetical saying, He ali'i ka aina, he kaua ke Kanaka, literally translated as land is the chief and people are the slaves, But Kavena Pukui interprets the saying to mean, land has no need for man, but man needs the land and works it for a livelihood. Aina then is an active agent in the social life of place. It provides the conditions of possibility for us to live. Kanaka Maoli are rediscovering the sacred relationship out of which Aloha Aina flows, a relationship of service to that which nourishes us. In earlier work, I argued that Aloha Aina is an ideological formation through which Kanaka Maoli political organizers draw on narratives and symbols that continue to resonate in the cultural Kipuka. Aloha Aina calls us to a diverse community of Kanaka and newcomers alike to battle the wastelanding practices of colonial capitalism. Ideological formations of capitalism, on the other hand, call individuals into social relations based on the labor market. But Aloha Aina calls individuals into reciprocating relationships with land, plants, animals, clouds, rain, and the multitude of geological and meteorological existence of place. This theorization of Aloha Aina as an indigenous ideology emerges for me out of working with my hands in the earth and with many others at Ho'ulu Aina, a complex of gardens and forest reserve operated by Kokua Kalihi Valley Comprehensive Family Services. Working in the gardens, in community, hiking forest trails with friends, meditating on the mist rolling off the Ko'olau Mountains has given me many moments of ephemeral joy, inexplicable precognitive sensations that are shared but not yet tethered to language or discourse. These shared feelings and sensations compel me and my fellow community to return. We form a community. We keep returning to these places, not out of obligation, but because it is something we cannot not do. And I see evidence that these powerful experiences on the land make us more available to the call to participate in Aloha Aina political practice. Ho'ulu Aina came into being as a place where people of all cultures could make the connection between the health of the land and the health of the people. Before the pandemic, community work days drew hundreds of people. Work days for staff and volunteers begins and ends with joining hands in a circle. The Aloha Circle is a ceremony of naming and remembrance that opens the workday, and the workday closes with a ceremony of gratitude, the Mahalo Circle, in which everyone speaks out loud something for which they are grateful. At community work parties, the people in these circles could be students from local high schools and colleges, fulfilling service learning requirements, or clients, staff, and volunteers from one of KKV's many clinics, or activists engaged in land struggles, enjoying respite from soul-wrenching entanglements with the settler state. For many in the circle, this is the first time that they have been asked to reflect on their relationship to land and the community. The act of forming a circle is a conscious practice of embodying aloha. Participants are given the opportunity to focus their attention on the group, be they strangers or family, friends, or coworkers. No one can be invisible, and no one stands above the circle, a staff member once told me. Joining the circle, she continued, is an invitation to rebuild relationship to land, to others, and to yourself. To do this, one must become vulnerable to these connections. This staff person admitted that when she first volunteered at Ho'ulu Aina, she found herself arriving late to avoid the circle. She felt anxious and self-conscious about being a haole, a foreign settler in Hawaii. When she started showing up, she was surprised to find that being in the circle alleviated much of these tensions, and she discovered that she cannot not participate. Kipuka Aloha Aina, like Ho'ulu Aina, open up our imagination and give us room to breathe. It presents us with practices that we cannot not do, and in doing moves us towards right relationships with Aina. There are spaces where we experience these inexplicable feelings that we can use to build futures that take us beyond the dread of climate change. And so we end this talk with gratitude. I'm sad that I can't join you in Bodo, and I'm deeply grateful to my panelists for the opportunity to share this work. And I welcome opportunities to continue the conversation, considering the question, are there spaces like Ho'ulu Aina? Are there Kipuka, Aloha Aina, where you live? Mahalo.